Due to the impact of COVID-19, we're currently facing a new reality with expansive change happening every single day. You might be struggling to know what to lean into right now. Jodie Baker, founder of Heal You, has created the Corona Insights podcast to help ease your information overwhelm. Jodie is consuming, filtering, and sharing vast information from many sources she's validated over years of experience, so you can quickly stay up to date with these short podcasts. Jodie uses her natural intuitive abilities to help you get up to speed on the invisible possibilities ahead and integrate the new corona reality we are living in.
Hey healers, shit's about to get real, right? So, just been a few minutes ago where we've all been updated that the lockdown's happening in 48 hours. And that's kind of not why I'm posting this message. This message I've been thinking about all day. And I just wanted to speak to the conspiracy side of Corona. I've had a lot of people ask me about it because people who know me know that I dedicated quite a number of my years getting really quite deeply involved in the whole conspiracy. I call it the conspiracy theory years. You know, when I was right up there with the globalists and the Bilderbergs and the New World Order and following people like Alex Jones and David Icke and I sort of I was right into it and it never really left me. The only reason I dropped it is because I felt like I broke free, like it broke. The shackles that kept me imprisoned in a one way of thinking were released and I was free. So what happened was when I watched the news, I knew how to decode it properly. And that's kind of all I needed to know at that point. I just needed to be free and I was free. So all the details, like who's doing what and blah, 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 who's behind this and that, I sort of transcended that at some point because it really didn't matter anymore. It really doesn't matter. Plus I also got to the point where I realized we're not probably ever going to know really. Once you find out how the media is used as the most ginormous propaganda tool that there is, and it has been since, always. And then the advent of social media, it's in full flight right now. Can't you see that? I'm sure you see that. So it's in full flight right now. So I just want to talk to that. So based on the things that I learned all those years ago, it's unfolding exactly as, predicted. And it's quite scary. It's really, really quite scary. Let me just pull back. I'm not scared, okay? It's, why do I use that word? I'm not quite sure. But, it's really quite profound that what all of those guys were telling us about with such vigor and passion and anger, it's all unfolding. And I can't help but notice that. How am I processing this? Well, if this was happening, 7 years ago when I was full on into it, I'd be going crazy right now, shouting down the wall, saying, hey, this is part of the agenda of the New World Order. We need to wake up and blah, blah, blah. And, and I think that the people who are doing that really should keep doing that because that's what their purpose is, because people need to know that there are other ways of looking at this. There are a lot of things that don't add up. And if you're interested, I was just listening to something this morning that went for about 20 minutes that makes even me, again, wake up and go, yeah, that's really quite screwy. But anyway, aside from all that, the way I'm processing it is this way. Since I had my conspiracy theory training, I had another layer of awakening layered upon me, and that's my spiritual awakening, I suppose, is for lack of a better word to describe it. It's, I had my panic disorder come over me, and that pretty much stopped me in my tracks, and I had to reevaluate how I lived my life, how I ate, what I thought, introduced meditation. I started listening to all the gurus, the spiritual gurus, reading all the books, all of that stuff, and it just, podcast after podcast, that's how I came into being, a self-healing mentor, because, the amount of knowledge that's in this head, just, I have to share it. There's just so much. That layer has sort of made me come to this conclusion. If there is a nefarious agenda that has been executed here, and it's got this agenda that's against us, okay, and it's highly likely, based on my own personal opinion, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to succeed, because it's a war. Nobody knows who's going to win a war at the start, do they? And I keep that in mind. And from what I've learned and, the contacts that I've got in, the more mystical ones, the ones that I see who are speaking to, channeling information from, some would say, angels or gods or interdimensional beings or whatever. But, there's a lot of them out there who claim to do this, and they've all been saying very similar things for quite some time. So it's hard to ignore, but you may or may not believe in that. It doesn't matter. But I happen to, because I've seen some extraordinary things through that type of healing. And they're all kind of saying the same things, that there are positive forces that we can't see or we don't know about equally on the other side that are fighting for us. My point is this: we need to not buy into it. We can't buy into the negative energy and the fear, because that's all a big part of it, okay? It is scary, no doubt about it, okay? But there's no point in buying into the fear. If you look at what's happening on social media and whatever, it's almost like they want it, like the fear. Oh, look, I'll take that back. It's scary. It's really hard not to be fearful, okay? So let's just keep that at that spot there. What I'm saying is, what am I saying? For me personally, I'm not tuning into that part of it, okay? I'm aware that it's probably the truth, but I'm not buying into the idea that it's all over. I'm choosing to stay in connection with the fact that humans are magnificent, infinite, creative, loving gods and goddesses. We came here to learn how to love, how to do all sorts of things. We all create our own agenda of what to learn, and that's what we are. We need to tune into that, okay? We need to tune into that, not away from that. That's really important, okay? And if we do that, who knows what we might do collectively? They may not win, or whatever, the virus may not win, whatever it is that's coming for us. We need to band together, stay together, not turn against each other, and have faith, be courageous, and just go day by day, staying focused that we can help. Like, already we're seeing people helping each other. Like, I've never seen so much thought for others being displayed on the news. Like, this person's popped up with this new app that helps you look after your neighbours, or this person's been picking out elderly and taking to the grocery store, or people on Facebook posting things about how they can help. But we haven't seen the likes of that in a decade. Everyone's too busy, throwing photos of themselves up on social media wearing their best outfit, doing their cheekiest selfie smile. We're not thinking of others, but now we are. We might take it that next step. Let's just keep going in that direction, okay? So what I'm saying here is that I'm aware of this conspiracy. It's, in my mind, probably not a conspiracy. It's probably a fact. I've invested a lot of time to look into it, and it's pretty compelling. If you want to hear what I listened to this morning, which sort of outlines that things aren't quite as they seem, PM me and I'll send it to you. Other than that, stay positive, stay lovely, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. And if you'd like more information on Jodie and her work as a self-healing mentor, please go to www.healyou.me.